Okay, Malcolm, could you give us, from a fan's perspective, can you give us an idea of some of the best games, the most memorable games that you can remember?
Yeah, I say the Mansfield game was a good one, and also, well, we had several good tussles in the when we was in the second division of what was then Chris Turner, our centre half, when we played was it Scunthorpe, and they had the likes of Kevin Keegan, no, Newcastle. We was playing Newcastle this particular day, and they had in the side players such as Kevin Keegan's ability and everything, and every time that ball came across the centre for Keegan, Chris would be there head and shoulders above him, he'd nod it down, and Keegan would stand there, hands on his hips, and sort of look up there and think, come on, big man, give us a chance, you know. And there was several, I mean, that type of season, we weren't supposed to have lived long in those days in the second division, but, and again here, to my mind, apart from Bill Lee, he was one of my favourite managers of all time we had up there, John Doherty.
Okay, Malcolm, you were just telling us about John Doherty and your knowledge.
Big Ron had done well for us the previous season and taken us up to Division 3 as Division 3 champions. And suddenly in came West Bromwich Albion, who eventually took him away from the United and once again left us managerless. But who we should have take over was John Doherty, very small Scotsman. He was assistant manager to Big Ron at the time, and he took over with us and took us up. We had a very good season that year and got promoted into Division 2, what was Division 2 in those days, and that's where I say he was one of the best managers again the club ever had. He didn't only take us to the second division, but he kept us there to a manner of 6 years, when we had no right to be there at all in a lot of people's eyes, and we were playing the likes of, well, one season we was playing the likes of Chelsea, QPR, Newcastle, Leeds United, quite a few of the Sunderland, quite a few of the big boys about that were there in their days, and it was from some of those days though in that second division when Sunderland, it was the beginning of the end, I think, for the smaller clubs like us, because sides like Sunderland were not very happy coming down to Cambridge. We was going up to Sunderland, perhaps getting a share, because in those days the away club took, I think it was a third of the gate money or something like that. Well, of course, an away game to Sunderland would be worth 3 home games to United or 4 home games even, the money we used to get from it. But when Sunderland came back to us, they would only be getting gates of maybe 5,000 or so, which hurt their feelings a bit, I think, financially wise. And it was then that put in the first thought of the home side taking all gate money and only paying out expenses to the away side. So that in itself was a big blow to United. To think we'd lost the revenue of away gates against sides like Chelsea, Sunderland, Newcastle, etc. And but they were good. But eventually, because I say, the difference of the big boys told upon us, and we couldn't hold ourselves, and we gradually sank down. That was the time we had young players coming in, such like as Steve Fallon, Stevie Spriggs, Alan Barley. They were just bits of boys in them days, 18, 19. You know.
I'm going to drag you back a little bit. You mentioned the Mansfield game that was one that you remembered well. Tell us the story of the Mansfield game.
Well, so I think we was possibly 2-0 down at one time.
This was a critical game for United.
Sorry?
This was a critical game for United.
Yeah, it was a must-win game for United. They had to win it if they wanted promotion that season. and it would be the first time in their lives that they had ever got promotion as well. And Mansfield were a point ahead of United, so therefore we had to get the 2 points to go the 1 point ahead of Mansfield. And we started off with 2 goals down, I think, and suddenly we pulled it back to 2-1, then 2 each, and then Mansfield scored again, made it to be 3-2 down, and our heart started thumping again in the hotel. And off they went to certain games and pulled it back and made it 3-3. And it was coming down then, I think there's about 3 minutes left of time, and of course then there's no such thing as extra time added on or anything like this. 20-5 would be the finish and that's it, and it was getting to almost 20-5, and then suddenly I think we got a Ronnie Walton playing for us then. We signed him on from Aldershot, who were a league club at those days. We got a penalty in the last minute, and because Ronnie Walton was picking the ball up, he put the ball down, and everybody, half of them were looking, half of them weren't, and it was a case of do or die here. Anyway, Ronnie Walton walks up to this ball and bang, he hits that in the net, the goalkeeper never saw it. And of course the cheers were going everywhere, and everybody straight away, because I say that in those days there was no stopping people from getting on the field, just beyond, it was all over the fences and everywhere on the field, and the game was virtually over then from that moment onward. We got that last minute penalty and we won the game 4-3. So that gave us promotion to what was the old 4th division into the 3rd division.
Yeah. In those days when we were playing Mansfield and that, it was Dudley Arliss was at the club. Mm-hmm. What do you remember about Dudley?
He was quite a good friend of mine, because I was quite pally with his eldest son Barry, and he said to me, "Mel, you're going to sell some of these tickets for me?" I said, "Do you remember you got, it's weekly, not just now." I said, "Yeah, no. Anyway," I said, "Give us 20. I went to work next morning with these 20 tickets. Well, they'd gone just like that, So I went off work, anybody else got my old bike. I went up and I said, "You better give me 60 of them, another 60 of them tickets." "Guys, well done, Mel, good old boy." He said, "Go on, take these with you." And off I went back to work again, and it goes round and round. I was going and said, "Wait, Danny, how do you get to work? We'll sell them bloody tickets." And some of my mates were out there, And I said, "Well, you can have one if you want them in 25 quid. And because 25 quid in those days was a nice, a good little backhand type of thing. And then onwards, Dudley goes from strength to strength with these here tickets, and so much so that he was wrapping off cars, I think every 15 weeks, so many tickets that have a star in it or a special number. "Keep this ticket, this is your draw into the lottery for the car." And I think he eventually got this here pool, what they ran, going up, so much so that they had 2 pools, an A pool and a B pool, and all the numbers, the daily numbers, would be in the back of the Daily Sketch newspaper in those days. There would be a whole page in the Daily Sketch, and there would be all these various different football clubs throughout the country, Arsenal, Tottenham, Wolves and so on, all these clubs that had got run these pool tickets. Cambridge United, and Cambridge United amongst the lot were the biggest selling club of the lot with these tickets, believe it or not.
We're getting quite close to the end.
Yeah.
You've been fantastic, thanks very much for that. Which era, which 10 years would you say you enjoyed most?
70s, yeah. The late 60s of the 7 8 days till probably up to 1980. The late 60s right through to the 70s. I enjoyed the Bill Lever's days and Ron Atkinson, John Doherty, their days when they were there, and they took over.
Why were they so special for you?
Sorry?
Why were they so special for you?
Well, I think also too, amongst anything, the actual players were friendly towards it too. Their attitude towards it. If they see you, hello, now go away, boy. You know, give you a pat on the back. Or, hello, you know, give you a little tap and whatever. Whereas the players of the day, I mean, even now, I don't know. I think I only know Josh Colson and Liam Hughes up there, because there was a couple of the youth team boys. When a few years ago, I used to go up there and help them in the mornings and make players tea for them, etc. I mean, I used to go up there in the summer at evenings after work and help to redo this here Towson at the back of the allotment in goal. We used to go down there Saturdays, Sundays as well, you know. I always remember the time I was probably 18, 19, and I was going out with a friend of mine this Friday night, and to start off with, we was playing football on New Street Rec, when it was better to play on then than what it is today. But eventually I went down, I turned my ankle. They carted me off up to Addenbrookes, didn't they? I gets up to Addenbrookes and I said, oh yeah, that's all right. They just put a bit of elastic plaster on round the ankle, sent me home, and that thing. Anyway, that's so painful all that damn night. I was hollering and shouting with it, you know. And my mum says to my old bloke in the morning, said, for Christ's sake, come on, let's get him up that hospital. She said, there's something more than a graze on that, so I know, said the noise he's making. Anyway, I'm up the hospital because we all know what times they're like in waiting rooms at Addenbrookes. And I'm waiting up there, waiting. And United's got a home game this afternoon. I forget it was. My mum said to me, you forget that bloody football club, you ain't going up there this afternoon, she said. Anyway, they called me round. They took me into this here operating theatre, possibly about 11:30. I come round again, and it's about 12:15, and so I said, where are my clothes? And the nurse says, why? I said, because I want my clothes. I said, I'm doing home. I said, I'm not stopping here. She said, what do you mean you're not stopping here? I said, I came tonight playing at home this afternoon. You know, well, I come there, I got my foot in plaster from my toes to just below my knee here, you know. And she said, you wouldn't go home, she said, we didn't think you would. So I said, I am, so I ain't stopping here. So anyway, they let me out. Up comes my mum, and she brought an uncle of mine with, well, the brother of hers with her, uncle of mine with her. And because in them days I lived in a top flat in Eakin Road. She said, if Mick and your Uncle George get you up to that flat, she said, between them, she said, you won't get down them bloody stairs anymore, she said, you ain't been up no football. Anyway, yeah, okay. Anyway, they got me up to the top of these here stairs, but then my uncle left, didn't he? And my mum went downstairs again to get her washing in. While she'd gone downstairs, I followed her behind her, and I said, like this, down them steps I went. And I suddenly got out to the front gate, and there's a friend of mine on the other side of the road washing his car down. I said, John, I said, what are you doing, mate? Nothing. All right. So I said, do us a favour, can you? I said, run us up United, do it. I said, I want to see that game's afternoon. And by this time, it's probably 10 to 3 or so, you know. And, yeah, go on, boy, get in, he says. And off he went, you know. I gets up there. And of course, I onward into the ground, heading on, whatever. And who was there? It was Alan Moore, who happened to be the manager in them days, because the dressing rooms by then had moved from there over to the, what should we say, the right-hand side of the, well,
where the pool's office.
Where the pool's office is now, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the dressing rooms. So, and, oh, hang on, he said, stay there. But he comes out, he bought me two of these leather-headed seats, one for me to sit in and one for me to put my leg up on. So there I sat on the front row all afternoon and watched us here football. Of course, it gets towards the end of the game, he comes walking in the ground, my old mum, there you are, you bugger, she said, how the hell did you get up here? None of you mind us, I always told you I'd come up here. She said, yeah, I think you'll bloody die up here and all, she said, you know. She said, bloody say you were, never come out of that place until I passed once, and you were out in football here, hour and a half later. I said, well, it's only a bit of plaster on my ankle, isn't it?